cooking oil poured into my pan, y'all. Let me go ahead and turn that on. Let it be heating up. I'm going to use all-purpose flour just because I am out of self-rising flour. I didn't realize I was out, and I didn't have that on my list the other day. That's okay. This works the same. I need to add that to my list. All right, so I'm just going to put some flour in there. Gonna add some garlic powder. Gonna add a little bit of salt. I'm not gonna add a whole lot of salt, just because I'm gonna be using some seasoning salt, and so that already has the salt in it. I'm gonna add some black pepper. And seasoning salt. Get that mixed up. And crack an egg. I think I need 2 eggs. How do you get me another egg? This is going, so I'm going to turn this down some. So I'm going to do 2 eggs, y'all, because I don't think one's going to be enough. And I'm actually going to add some salt into the eggs. Thank you. I'm going to give that a mix. And then I'm just going to take the cube steaks. I'm going to roll them actually into the flour mixture first, and then roll them, and then put them into the egg mixture, and then put them back into the flour mixture, and then put them over into the skillet. Oh, allergies has got me sneezing and everything today. Okay, so I'm just going to take it, put it in there like that, and put it into the egg mixture. And then put it back into the flour mixture and get that coated really good. Make sure all of it's coated good, and then we'll put it over into the hot oil. And I'm going to do all the rest of them and get all those added to the skillet. So I've got the cube steak on. That's how they're looking. They're looking really good. Get ready to flip them again. I usually drain almost all of the liquid off the green beans if I'm not adding potatoes to it. And I'm not adding potatoes to it this time. But if I do add potatoes to it, then I usually just leave the liquid in it, because the potatoes cook in with the liquid, because you don't want to put potatoes in it with no liquid. add in some bacon grease. Some onion powder. Garlic powder. Some salt. And then I'm adding in some bacon pieces. And I'll just let that cook down really good. So now I've got the green beans cooking, got the minute steaks, and got rice cooking. And so here is our supper for tonight. This is Monday night. We've got the fried minute steak, green beans with bacon pieces in it, and rice with soy sauce. Today is Tuesday, so I'm getting some ribs put into the crock pot for supper tonight. We'll just do barbecue, baby back ribs, and some type of beans, and a baked potato. So I've got the ribs in the crock pot, and then I'm just going to add some seasonings to it. And then I will put some barbecue sauce on it, and then let that cook all day. And when it's done, we'll take it out, put it into the oven, and add some more barbecue sauce on it, and just put it on broil for just a few minutes. So here is the ribs in the crock pot. We've got paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt, and barbecue sauce. I'm going to let that cook on low for a little while, and then if I need to turn it up on high, I will. Y'all, I almost forgot to show y'all making the bacon ranch pasta salad until Malachi reminded me. So in the bowl, I just added sour cream. You usually use like a half a cup of sour cream, a half a cup of mayonnaise, and then I don't measure my milk. I just add some milk, but probably about a half a cup of that would be good too. And then you add a packet of dry ranch seasoning, and then I'm going to add in some bacon pieces. And I've got my pasta over here cooking, and I have not got my potatoes started yet or our beans because it is not time for supper yet. I'm just getting the pasta done so that it can sit in the refrigerator and get cold. So I went ahead and added my bacon to it, and now I'm just waiting on the pasta to get done. I drained my pasta and ran cold water over it. And then I added it in with the bacon and the seasoning. So now I'm just going to stick that in the refrigerator and let it get cold. And that'll be ready whenever we eat supper tonight. Okay, so I've got my potatoes here. Brent won't be home till later, so I'm just making two right now for me and Malachi. So I'm going to rinse these off with cold water and just kind of scrub them real good. And then I'm going to rub olive oil all over them and poke some holes in them and throw them into the air fryer on 400 for, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Not sure yet. I'll let y'all know how long it takes. I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I decided on doing ranch beans to go with the baby back ribs. And so I'm making them really easy. I'm just using 2 cans of chili beans. I'm going to add in some liquid smoke, some cumin, some paprika, onion powder, and some brown sugar. measuring anything. I never measure anything. I just start adding ingredients and just taste as I go to see what I think it needs or don't need any more of. So that's just how I do it. Y'all, I forgot to show the tomato paste, so I also add about a tablespoon of tomato paste into the ranch beans. Here is Tuesday night supper. We've got baby back ribs that I made in the crock pot. We've got ranch beans. We've got bacon ranch pasta and baked potatoes. Y'all, I'm getting ready to get tonight's supper started cooking. I'm going to go ahead and cook the chicken in the crock pot. So for supper, we're going to have roasted chicken and some chicken and dressing. So Brent doesn't like a whole lot of chicken in his dressing, so I'll use the small piece to put in the dressing. And then 3 pieces I will put in the oven after it comes out of the crock pot and roast it with some seasonings on it. So that'll be our roasted chicken. And then the other couple of pieces I'm just going to use to make some chicken salad out of. So I'm just going to add some water and chicken bouillon cubes to the crock pot, and I'll put in some like garlic powder and onion powder and just a few seasonings and get that started in the crock pot for supper. So I've got the chicken in the crock pot, and then I'm just going to add in some water, some chicken bouillon cubes, some salt, and garlic powder. I'm getting the rest of the stuff done to cook our dressing with. I've got celery and onions and butter sauteing in my pan. And then I've got my cornbread in the oven. I didn't show y'all making my cornbread, but I've showed y'all that before. The chicken is done in the crock pot. I'll pull some of that out and put it in the oven to roast. And then 1 piece will go in the chicken and dressing, and then we'll figure out what else we're going to have to go with it. I forgot to film doing my dressing, but y'all, all I did was crumble up my cornbread. I sauteed my onions and celery in some butter on the stove. I put my crumbled cornbread in the bowl, added in my onions and celery with the butter that it was sauteed in. I added a can of cream of chicken. I added some poultry seasoning and some ground sage and a little bit of black pepper, and that's it. So now I've got all that mixed up, and I'm getting ready to pour it into a pan and bake it in the oven. And y'all, we don't like ours thick, so I won't bake it, but you know, probably 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it. Oh, I also did shred up a piece of chicken and added that to it as well. Here's tonight's supper. We've got chicken that I cooked in the crock pot, and then I stuck it in the oven to just roast it a little bit. We got mashed potatoes. I made gravy, but I don't like gravy. I don't even like mashed potatoes, y'all, so I just have a few. We have chicken dressing, and we have some corn.